Yes, hi guys. Good morning to you all. Yes, I'm yours and truly your favorite guy here, Frank Bello. I'm back live this glorious day. Although it is very glorious now in London, we had snow a little bit, just snow showers in London. Nothing to worry about, basically. I'm back. Today is Thursday, the 27th day of Feb 2020. The time in London is exactly 10:47, 10:48, roughly. Yeah, Ayo Nobanjo, Godwin Blessing, Sean Oguns. Yes, good morning to all of you. Yes, I salute you all. Yes, you're welcome to the show. I'm pretty sure that perhaps others will probably join us at some point in time, or maybe we should seize the opportunity to first try and send some of them invite to come in onto the show. I'll just quickly run through that for now. Although I've seen some people that I will be making reference to their postings. Franca Obi, yes, here on this platform. Thank you all guys for coming in to watch the show. I can't see anyone because I'm trying to send invites to a lot of people on the show. I think Oyono Banjo is in. Grace Emil Golo, yes. Let me just quickly invite a few people round and then we can kickstart the show with this short space of time that I have. I salute you. I wholeheartedly welcome some of you in. I'm sure you're going to enjoy the show just like you enjoyed the previous one. Thank you all. I thank you. If you want to share it as well, please do. I know I haven't seen a lot of people. Perhaps Facebook is not really sending them a lot, so I think what I better might as well do now is to invite them personally. Thank you all guys, all my friends, all my avid viewers, listeners around the whole world. Yes, you're all welcome to the show. I'll try and acknowledge all of you. Many across the world. Thank you all. Dominic Arieta, yes, I can spot you there. Okay, yes, I can see that. Many are not comfortable. I'll tell you, many people are not really comfortable with my show, and as such, they systematically took themselves out, which that doesn't bother me. It does not bother me, to be honest with you. What I know for sure is that we will continue to speak truth to the powers that be. We're not scared. I'm not scared of any of these guys. No, I'm not scared. I'm not just scared of any of them. Yeah, there are some who yeah, they like to come in, but I'll send them. I'm waiting patiently somewhere, and obviously I just want to catch up with a handful of you. Yes, hi guys. Okay, let me stop here. I think there are some that I need to send it to. Yes, I can see some other names coming in. Yes, I can see many other names. Jerry Mangla, my good friend from Zimbabwe, no, from Uganda, who is in London, has been trying to get hold of me as well. but obviously due to the fact that I've been extremely busy. Yeah, Nick Mangwana, I think Nick Mangwana is now a PAMSEC in the Zimbabwe Civil Service. He's a ZANU PF man. Yeah, these are my avid guys over there. Okay, guys, let's see. Yes, a Kong. I'm not too sure where that one is. Okay, let's stop here. Okay, guys, let me see. Dimitope, okay, yes. Oh, I can see my good friend there, Professor Peter Olorunishomo. Yeah, I think he's probably less busy today. I sent him an invite. Yeah, thank you very much for that, Prof. All right, guys, the time in London is 10:53. Today, Thursday, the 27th day of Feb 2020. And what I want to talk about is hashtag Extreme Nigeria. Yeah, that's exactly what we hope to talk about, extreme Nigeria. And many people are not used to the fact that I'll come live this time. Most people probably are expecting me to come live later on in the evening, but sometimes that evening is a little bit dodgy for me. Saying Larry Popola, I can spot you. You're watching from the United States. Good morning to you from London. Okay, guy, extreme Nigeria is what we want to talk about. And you lot remember that the current book that I am writing at the moment is titled Nigeria, Extreme Marriage Between the Rich Southern Wife and the Poor Northern Husband. Now, the code that's been applied in the fraudulent formation of that Nigeria from start, I made it known to you, that made that country an extreme hell on the surface of this planet is 369. Now, I've argued in the preambles, the background to the book, chapter 1 and chapter 2, exactly what the 369 entails. I'm now going into chapter 3, to which we will begin to break down the chronological order of events that shaped and molded that country from 1959 to 2019, because what we have to look into is the 60 years of misery that different people from different quarters in the country they've brought to that country to made that country an extreme hell. It is extreme. Now, earlier on today, I was actually going through a few postings made by some people, and in the past, you guys know for a fact that I have been extremely ruthless. When you say ruthless, I have been ruthless with some of the past rulers in that country. I have been particularly ruthless with those that came in and then administered the same country from 1999 to 2019. That 1999 to 2019, don't forget, that was the last phase of the 20 years of the misery, the 3 cycles of misery from 1959 to 2019. The first cycle of the 20 years of misery started in 1959. That ended in 1979. We will look into most of the events that reshaped that country to be hell. Then from 1979 to 1999, we will look into all those events as well. And then 1999 to 2019. In between, don't forget, guys, that there are so many issues that are buried inside each 20 years of misery that country's been through. Military coups, the inability for Nigeria and its leaders to play the correct card game with the Western world. You see, because politics is about card game and how solid you are in playing the same game with the powers that be in the Western world. Saudi Arabia, let me point this out. Saudi Arabia is stable. It was stable before because Saudi Arabia played the card game right with the United States. See, as at that time, the United States, they went to the king of Saudi Arabia to speak to the king of Saudi Arabia that they want their oil in return for a protection. And that's why Saudi Arabia will remain an ally to the United States and the rest of the European Union, because Saudi Arabia played that card game right with them. Countries that were unable to play the same card game with the rest of the Western world are those ones that they dealt with. Look at Syria, look at Iraq, look at Iran, look at Korea. Now, America deliberately shut down and created South Korea and then break North Korea apart. South Korea surrendered and they played the same card game right with the rest of the world, and that's why South Korea is now having to dominate the world with the technology that they've offered the rest of the world. Samsung, for instance, is South Korea. Most of the electronic gadgets are made in South Korea. Look at Japan after the Second World War. Japan was nowhere equally, but they played the same card game right with the rest of the world. Guys, we will look into all those issues. Where Nigeria got it wrong, you will see. Where bad leadership created problems for Nigeria, you will see. Between 1959 to 2019 in the book. Perhaps I'll be doing a lot more show to get you guys accustomed to what you were unable to see that was secretly embedded in the 369 code, otherwise called the Tesla code. Extreme Nigeria is what we are talking about today. 11 o'clock is the time, exactly, London time. Thursday, 27th day of Feb 2020. You see, earlier on today, guys, somebody that is a friend to which I monitored her postings very frequently on Facebook, just like I monitor whatever she's got to say. So also, she usually pass comments on what I have to say as well in terms of my postings. I don't mind people criticizing whatever I have to say, but if you have to criticize what I have to say, you have to criticize constructively, and you have to present your argument in a clear frame of mind, because I'm open to criticism. Now, I'm going to mention this person. Her name is Bibiri Peter Price. And many a time, if I post or if I comment on certain things, or if I make some utterances, my utterances usually offend a lot of people. Now, some people, they hate you when you speak the truth, because truth hurts. You see, in Yoruba land, there's a proverb that says if brothers should go inside the same room and lock themselves in a room, if those two brothers should come out of that place, they locked themselves, laughing, that means those brothers, they've not spoken the truth to themselves. But if they come out of their meeting angry with one another, that means truth has been spoken. One has probably spoken the truth to the other, and the other is not particularly happy about the truth. When I speak, some people, especially some who are Buharidins and Buharists and those non-entities and those who believe they can lick their leaders' foot and their bombs to get crumbs of what they want, will be angry at me for speaking the truth. Frank, why are you condemning Obasanjo? Frank, why are you condemning Buhari? Frank, why are you condemning IBB? Frank, why are you condemning Jagaban? Frank, why are you condemning Rotimi Amechi? Frank, why are you condemning Tafida? Because I've never gone to them for any handout. If you are sure of what you are capable of doing, you don't have to be fear or be scared of anyone. That is the gospel truth. Good morning, Lizzie. So Bibiri Peter Price, a woman that I cherished so much, just like Lizzie, who is not afraid to say whatever she wants to say, irrespective of what, posted three hours ago. She posted and she said, on my mind, I'm quoting her word for word now, guys. She said, on my mind is the level of insecurities ravaging Nigeria. I watched with dismay how Boko Haram went to barracks, police stations, army camps, high police officers' house, lawmakers' houses to kidnap, maim, kill, set ablaze, and cut away armored cars and ammunition, all on YouTube. That is, everything that they've cutted away are all on YouTube. You, according to Bibiri Peter Price, will agree with me that Boko Haram is in control of Nigeria. If only Shekarau can just declare himself as the president of the country so that life can be secured. What's the way out, my fellow country people? Then she came up with her suggestion: referendum. Let each region govern themselves. Let each region rule themselves. Let each region prosper or loot themselves if they so wish. Let each region save, kidnap, maim, and kill themselves. This, our government, according to Bibiri Peter Price, this, our arrangement, marriage of Nigeria is clearly not working. How long according to her, shall we continue to suffer. 49 sitting, 99 standing. That came out from Fela Anikulapo Kuti's perception of that your nasty piece of geographical expression that you lot called Nigeria. 49 sitting, 99 standing, suffering and smiling. Then she said, Usumi bata bata. Loads of comments. It's gone. Loads of comments. Somebody ignited the comment saying that's the visible option for now. Regional government is the way out. And that was exactly, if you lot can probably take your mind back, that was exactly what I have been advocating for a very, very long time, because I knew Nigeria was a fraud. I knew. The rich, you see, the wealth, the resources of the entire Nigeria is in the south, but the north are the one milking the resources that rightfully belonged to the south. How will that work up? That is why they refused to let go. That is why the northerners are laying claim to Nigeria, that they've got the largest landmass in that country in the north. But whether this is going to hold, whether Nigeria will survive 2020, we shall see. Many comments. It's gone, and I made my own comment as well. The comment I made was this, and I'll read it to you on the same wall. I said, Bibiri Peter Price, now you are beginning to see what I saw. Immediately everyone garnered support for your Boko Haram in 2015 to flush out useless GEJ mismanaging our economy. And that was true. Goodluck Ebele Jonathan was ruthlessly mismanaging the economy of that country at the time. Guys, had Goodluck Ebele Jonathan did the right thing, trust me, I should have campaigned vigorously with all the blood in my body for that man to come back. But then and again, Goodluck Ebele Jonathan, who presented himself as the shoeless boy who came from a poor background, that he understands the plight of many Nigerians, will bring the desired changes to them. Did you not remember that even Bola Tinubu petitioned Nuhu Ribadu, the presidential candidate of his own party? He went into a secret meeting with Goodluck Ebele Jonathan for Goodluck Ebele Jonathan and the PDP to stay clear of the Southwest. But the presidential, they will deliver to him. Bola Ahmed Tinubu delivered presidential to Goodluck Ebele Jonathan in that election, 2011 election. Disgraced his own presidential candidate that he picked, Nuhu Ribadu. Just to flush GEJ out for mismanaging our economy. I knew Boko Haram was the most hopeless. I repeat it. And I'm not going to withdraw that statement from anyone. I knew Buhari was the most hopeless of any leader. But the likes of the looters, other looters, in government presented to the entire world a reformed soldier. His plans, let me tell you, Buhari had these plans as far back as 1983 when he was, let me put it to you, Buhari was not part and parcel of the military coup that brought him into power in 1983. Like I've said time after time, that coup was a coup between Tunde Diagbon and Ibrahim Babangida. It was a coup between those two. And it was Abiola that actually sponsored that same coup. Abiola was the sponsor of the 1983 coup. That coup, because IBB and Tunde Diagbon, like I made it known, refused to step down to one another. IBB wanted to be the head of state. Tunde Diagbon equally wanted to be the head of state, to avoid something the military called coup inside coup, because Babangida has got his own loyalists in the military, so also Tunde Diagbon. So to avoid another coup between Tunde Diagbon's faction and IBB's faction in the same coup, that was why Obasanjo advised both of them to bring in the next high-ranking military officer in the army to head the government. And that was how Muhammadu Buhari was brought in to head that government. He was not part of it when that government came into being, and he then subsequently became a surrogate head of state. Let me use that word, surrogate. Head of state. Buhari does not know where to flex his muscle, whether to flex his muscle towards his chief of staff, Tunde Diagbo, or to flex his muscle towards Ibrahim Babangida, who subsequently became the chief of army staff. He's always dreamt that. He told me, because that is the highest military position anyone can attain, to become the chief of army staff of the army. He attained it at their meeting of the Supreme Military Council. IBB changed the course of history by presenting to the Supreme Military Council that the Chief of Staff Supreme Headquarters, Tunde Diagbon, should face state's problem, state's ceremony, and that the issue of the army should be left to the Chief of Army Staff. All GOCs, General Officer commanding each and every military installations in the country, should report to the Chief of Army Staff. Before, they used to report to the Chief of Staff Supreme Headquarters, the second man in command. They changed it. And that was the beginning of how IBB built his own power in the military. Not many people knew this. When they came in 1983, Buhari had the same intention earlier in that country, because I was privileged to know. First, the problem of Fulanization Nigeria has been on his agenda, and Buhari's ambition or intention in 1983 was to first retire Ibrahim Babangida from the army and replace Babangida with a Fulani man. Then, subsequently, he will then deal with Tunde Diagbon and then get Tunde Diagbon out of the way. But then and again, because they were all in the same military caucus, the same military mafia, despite the fact that there were so many things going on and wrong at the time. IBB had no options but to act. And before IBB acted to take over power in 1985, Obasanjo was aware of that military takeover. Long time. Long time. 1983, thank God, it was crushed. What you are seeing now had, look, let's look at it. Let's rewind. Had the same Muhammadu Buhari as a military junta at the time was able to unleash what he is having to unleash now in 1983, it would have been, Nigeria would have been a dangerous place. He perhaps should have carried out that operation with ease in uniform. But that operation was truncated subsequently by IBB. And again, who sponsored that 1985 coup, MKO Abiola. The late Chief Obafemi Awolowo died a martyr. Exactly what Nnamdi Kanu is having to do today. Nnamdi Kanu is only lucky that he escaped. Awolowo was never hiding his own intention of carving away Western Nigeria out of the remaining part of Nigeria, because Awo knew. He died in the process. He committed suicide in the process. I'm not going to say more. He was told to behave like a man after the leaked tape was leaked to the government in power at the time. I'm not going to say more about that, but perhaps I'll put that into the book. And I want people to challenge me when I put that in writing in the book. People will read it. See, it is a terrible situation, guys. It's particularly terrible. We're talking about extreme Nigeria, ladies and gentlemen. The next one I want to touch on, Sean Oguns. I think you replied, Mikel, you said 100% correct. Sean Oguns, you then replied him. You said, but people in Nigeria, no light, no data. Tell me, how can they know what is happening around them? That's why the book, if they are seriously in search of knowledge, to know the truth, the book will expose a lot of things, and perhaps people can make photocopies and post it onto, well, pages and so on, because the book perhaps will be completely banned in Nigeria. So I've actually prepared the writing of the book for the millions, maybe about 4 million Nigerians in the diaspora. Perhaps some can even buy the book, take that book to Nigeria, wrap it secretly in their luggage, and then take to Nigeria and then give other people as presents. That's how the book will manage to penetrate into the country, because I'm sure they won't allow that book to be sold in that country. They won't. All your Jaga bandits, all your Boko Buhari and the rest of them, those rotten, useless leaders, they won't allow the book inside the country because it is too heavy for them. I was glad. I was equally glad that one of the main culprits of those leaders that created the mess of Nigeria, as a matter of fact, started from him. And I've said it time after time. Nigerians should begin to question General Gowon's role in decapitating Nigeria to the extreme level that that country is today. Go on. I'm not scared of any of them. Should be held responsible to account for all the atrocities that he equally unleashed on that nation. And I'm glad. I'm particularly very glad that somebody replied him. Somebody threw the first salvo on Gowon. Who the hell is Gowon? The same Gowon who told the entire world when he was a military junta that the problem of Nigeria was not money but how to spend the money. And there, the late Chief Obafemi Awolowo was begging Gowon to seriously invest in educating the Nigerian children when he was the Federal Commissioner for Finance and Gowon's deputy in his cabinet. Chief Awolowo was begging, I repeat, was begging Gowon to invest in educating the Nigerian children. This was just immediately after the Civil War, guys, when there was reconciliation and then integration of those Biafran war heroes into the country. Look, if you look at the state of those Biafran heroes, it is terrible and pathetic. Chief Awolowo, he begged this same nasty piece of logwood called Gowon to invest in educating the Nigerian children. Gowon was making incredible and obscene amount of money from crude oil at the time. That was when he said the problem of Nigeria was not money, but how to spend it. And now the problem of Nigeria is money, and they don't know how to spend the money. He never educated Nigerian children. Had Gowon taken that leap, and Chief Obafemi Awolowo made it known that he, Obafemi Awolowo, will not get the credit if Gowon should take up that political will to educate all Nigerian children. Had Gowon taken that courage and the political will to educate Nigerian children irrespective of their tribe, whether you are Igbo, whether you are Hausa Fulani, or whether you are Yoruba, perhaps Nigeria will not be filled with millions and millions of Almanjiri children today. Perhaps many of those Almanjiri children roaming the streets in northern Nigeria, perhaps Nigeria should probably must have produced some of the finest engineers, doctors, designers, architects, lawyers out of them. And I'm glad. I'm seriously glad and happy that Femi Fani Kayode replied, Go on. How Because in any event in that nasty piece of a nation they called Nigeria that is is not negotiable. What is not negotiable? Tamboroba. Shegemutumu Banzani. It is negotiable. We will negotiate Nigeria, whether you lot like it or not. The same Gowon will be called to lead prayers with somebody who's got blood in his hand, with somebody who is as useless as anything. That's what they deserve. So, Femi Fani Kayode, I was happy with this, and I was extremely glad, and my heart was filled with joy and happiness that Femi Fani Kayode threw that salvo at Gowon by saying Yakubu Gowon should never be allowed to lead prayers for Nigeria. Tell me, was Femi Fani Kayode right or wrong? I want you to please comment. Please comment. Was Femi Fani Kayode right to come hard on a man who's got blood in his hand, who killed and maimed Nigerians as well in a war that was not supposed to happen? But please tell me, was Femi Fani Kayode wrong or right to suggest Nigerians should stop calling on Gowon to lead prayers for the nation? Listen to what Femi Fani Kayode said. A man that presided over the slaughter of over 3 million Igbo civilians during the Civil War, and that has refused, the same man with blood in his hand has refused to apologize to the Biafrans for his actions, will be called time after time to lead prayers for Nigeria. What a whole load of nonsense. And then he said, no wonder things have gone from bad to worse. Loads of comments went. You know, Femi Fani Kayode is a serpent. Thank you, Sunday Skyleo. FFK was right. Yeah, Sean Oguns, you're right. Shekau is one of the Almanjiris. How old is Shekau? Look, if you look at Shekau's age should have been some of those that had Gowon taking that political will to educate every Nigerian children, whilst he made that utterances that the problem of Nigeria was not money but how to spend it. Had Gowon invested in education, just education for all Nigerians, with all the money he made from oil, we won't have the likes of Shekau. Because the parents of Shekau perhaps were teenagers that gave birth to Shekau when Gowon was in power. And had Gowon taken, did you get the logic? Shekau's parents were probably the teenagers of that time when Shekau was born. And had Gowon taken that political will and the power to educate Nigerians all over, the parents of Shekau perhaps must have sent Shekau to education. Who knows? Maybe Shekau the leader of Boko Haram. Who knows? Maybe the guy should have, if that education was available to him at the time, maybe he should have ended up being a mechanical engineer or a professor of engineering or a medical doctor. Guys, maybe we'll do this. We'll continue with this because I have to go in and meet and get someone. If you want to share this, please share it. This is very important. Probably when I get back home later today, we will carry on with part 2 of the extreme Nigeria. There's a lot we need to talk about it. And I need to look into a lot of issues. Guys, until when I retire back home tonight, I'll see you. So until that time, please share it. I know it is very short, just because of that time limit. I needed to come live. So we'll carry on full time this evening. Watch out, because we're going to do it. We're going to screw it together. Until that time, thank you all for watching the show, and I hope you have a great day. Thank you. God bless you. Goodbye.